My abusive ex threatened every man who looked at me until I started dating an MMA fighter who's 6'5". My name is Madison, and I'm 27 years old. 3 years ago, I finally left Derek after 4 years of the worst relationship of my life. But leaving him didn't mean he left me alone. The threat started the day after I moved out. I was at Target, just trying to buy some basic things for my new apartment, when this guy around my age smiled at me in the cleaning supplies aisle. Just a friendly smile. Nothing weird. I smiled back because that's what normal people do. 2 hours later, Derek showed up at my new place. I still don't know how he found my address. He banged on the door so hard I thought he'd break it down. "I saw you at Target," he screamed through the door. "I saw that guy looking at you. You think you can just move on? You think I'm going to let some random guy think he has a chance with you?" I called the cops. They came. They talked to him. He was calm by then. All smiles and apologies. Said it was a misunderstanding. Said we'd just broken up and emotions were high. The officers basically told us both to move on with our lives. That was the first time. The second time was at a coffee shop. A barista made small talk with me while making my latte. Derek was somehow there, sitting in the corner. I hadn't even seen him. The barista, this sweet kid who couldn't have been older than 19, ended his shift and found all 4 of his tires slashed in the parking lot. I knew it was Derek. The barista didn't make the connection, but I did. The third time was at my gym. A guy asked if I was done with a machine. Just asked. Derek followed him to his car and apparently got in his face, telling him to stay away from me or he'd regret it. The guy came back inside and complained to the staff. They reviewed the security footage. Derek was banned from the property, but it didn't stop. For 2 years, this was my life. I couldn't talk to men. I couldn't smile at anyone. I couldn't exist in public without wondering if Derek was watching. I filed for a restraining order, but Derek was smart. He never did anything directly to me. It was always the men around me who suffered, and somehow he always had an alibi or a reason or just enough deniability that nothing stuck. My friends told me to move cities. My mom wanted me to come back home to Ohio, but I'd built a life in Austin, Texas. I had a good job as a graphic designer. I had my apartment. I had my routine. Why should I be the one to run? So I stayed, and I became invisible. I stopped going out. I stopped dating. I barely left my apartment except for work. I was 25 years old and living like a prisoner. Then I met Cameron. It was a Wednesday afternoon, and my laptop died right in the middle of a deadline. Just completely gave up. I panicked and ran to the electronics repair shop 2 blocks from my office, practically in tears. Cameron was behind the counter. He was massive. I'm 5'4", and I had to crane my neck back to look at him. He had to be at least 6'5", maybe taller. Broad shoulders. Hands the size of dinner plates. His nose looked like it had been broken more than once, and he had a scar through his left eyebrow. He looked terrifying, but when he spoke, his voice was gentle. "Hey, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Let me take a look." I explained the deadline, the panic, everything just spilling out. He listened patiently, then smiled. "I can have this fixed in an hour. There's a cafe next door. Go get yourself a coffee, try to relax, and come back. I've got you." I wanted to tell him not to talk to me. I wanted to explain that being nice to me would put him in danger, but the deadline was in 3 hours, and I was desperate, so I just said thank you. An hour later, my laptop was fixed. Cameron refused to charge me for the labor. "First-time customer discount," he said with a grin. "Just pay for the part." I should have left it there. I should have taken my laptop and never come back, but something about him felt safe. Maybe it was because he was